Welcome in, villains. TSVILLA here. This is my non-spoiler review of the newest film in the Fast and the Furious franchise, Fast X. Before we get started, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more gaming content, and also in the future more film reviews like this one. So guys, I'm going to start by saying if you haven't watched any of the Fast films, or if you've not seen them for a long while and you need a refresher, please watch Fast 5 because you'll get an idea of the MO of the villain of this film, Jason Momoa. That's not a spoiler, he's in the trailer. If you watch Fast 9, which is the last film in the franchise, you can get to see which are the current characters in this franchise. So you can get up to speed by watching them two films. So for me, I think Jason Momoa's character, he plays Dante Reyes, is probably one of the most charismatic and flamboyant film villains since Heath Ledger's Joker. And I honestly was thinking that as I was watching the film, and I was thinking, oh my god, I've not seen a villain like this since the Joker played by Heath Ledger. Let me know if you agree with that or not in the comments. So at the start, and it's non-spoiler, so I just wanted to say this thing, gives you a refresher of the events of Fast 5. It says 10 years earlier, and basically we are watching scenes from Fast 5, and also those scenes from the eyes of Dante Reyes as well, so you get some new footage that we didn't see in the Fast 5 film. And then afterwards it goes into a scene where it's all about family. That is the whole idea of this Fast franchise. It's all about family. So then that sets the scene about how close this family is that Dominic Toretto has actually created. So later on I will again give you my score, but right now the score I give this film is 9 out of 10. I'll explain why it doesn't quite reach the 10. There's two things for me. First one is with the passing of Paul Walker, his character Brian, I feel like they haven't really settled on how to write him out of the film yet. They do mention him here and there from Fast 8, 9 and also in this film as well. There's a scene in this film where Mia is also in the film and she is babysitting little Brian, and I'm kind of thinking, why isn't she babysitting with her own kid as well, with Brian? It's kind of, they either have to use Mia or they don't, and I feel like they probably shouldn't have for that idea of not using Brian in this film. But at the end of the day, you've got to detach real life from these films, and then if you just forget about the whole Paul Walker Brian situation and just get lost in the film plot, it is a really, really good film. The second part, which is why it doesn't quite reach the 10 out of 10 for me, is the very, very ending of this film. Not the ending, the very, very ending. I will go into more detail in a minute on that. Again, this film, you get your classic racing action, over the top stunts, explosions, and honestly for me it was great to see a Rocket League-esque scene in the film as well. I won't spoil that for you, but you know, once you see the film you will understand what I am on about. We did see the return of a drag race as well. We've not seen them for quite a while in this franchise, so it was great to see the quarter-mile race in the Fast and the Furious films, which is a throwback to the OG films there. This film has a lot of reveals, twists, and also ties to past films and characters. So if you haven't recently binged the film, or if you don't have a good memory, then it can get a bit complicated. I've recently binged the films, so I could keep track of everything and fully understand if people do think it is overpopulated with characters and throwbacks as well. As a fan of the Fast franchise, I've really, really enjoyed this film. The links to the past films, the exaggerated stunts, and also the interactions between the characters, whether they are good or bad. They're all split up in different areas of the world. The interactions was very, very good. But every scene that Jason Momoa was in, he stole. I genuinely loved how they wrote the character, how Jason Momoa acted as the character as well. It was hard for me not to think of Avengers Infinity War while I was watching this, because there were different groups of the franchise characters in different parts of the world. We had in Avengers Infinity War, where we had people on Titan, we had the Guardians of the Galaxy in space, we had two groups of people on Earth as well. Just kind of felt like similarities between those two films on that front. It's been noted on a lot of news sources, and also Vin Diesel himself has confirmed this, that there are going to be two more Fast films to follow this one to end the franchise. At the end of the day, the way they end this film, I genuinely thought they ended it really, really well. But then there's probably a 2-minute clip just before the credits, and I feel like that should have been an end credit scene. If you take away that 2-minute clip at the very end of the film, I think they have ended the film very well. So for me, for them cutting in that 2-minute clip just before the credits, I feel like it doesn't quite get the 10 out of 10 that I wanted to give it. So that and the Brian situation, that is why this film does not get a 10 out of 10. There is a one mid-credit scene, so after the initial credits there is another credit scene that sets up another aspect of the next film in this franchise. So please watch that. Do not miss that. You'll understand once you see it. So to wrap it all up, this film was fun, action-packed. I had such a great time watching it. It actually left me with questions and an urge to immediately want to watch the next film in the series. I've not felt that way when watching a Fast and the Furious film. Normally, we just watch the film, it's finished, and we're like, oh, they're going to make another one. But this one genuinely makes you want to watch the next one because of how it ends as well. So, guys, what did you think of the film? Let me know in the comments, but remember to keep it non-spoiler, as this is a non-spoiler review. Thank you for sticking around. I've been TSVILLA. Like and subscribe the channel. Thank you, villains. Take care.